Okay, Tailgate Talk fans, we got a new project. I've got this vintage 71 model CB Honda 350 and took the gas tank off of it, and as you can see, it has obviously rust in the lid here, but then we look down inside and it's even worse. So obviously the goal is going to be to get all that rust out of there, and then get the tank sealed up. So read a good bit, watched a few videos, and obviously you got the kits like this that you can use, and there's 3 or 4 different brands, and then there's more kind of the homegrown methods that I've seen. So couldn't find a video that kind of compares the two in a single video. So what I'm going to do is start with the homegrown method and put the apple cider vinegar in there, see what that does, and then work on that for 3 or 4 days and see what kind of results I get. And then I'll move to the Kreem brand tank liner. So let's get going. I'm going to cut away here and just dump this 1 gallon of apple cider vinegar into the tank. Okay, so I've got the 1 gallon of apple cider vinegar in my tank, and got it in there and start sloshing it around. I may go back to the store and get another gallon, dump in there. It's probably about half full. I'm guessing this is like a 3 gallon tank, maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, kind of the whole point of the video is to kind of see if I can spend $4 or $8 on apple cider vinegar and get the job done, or I need this $40 Kreem tank liner kit. And that's kind of what I'm setting out to prove here. So we'll check back in tomorrow, and in the meantime, I'm going to slosh this thing around ever so often. Just when I'm coming through the garage, I'll pick it up and slosh it around and start, kind of documenting what results I'm getting. So we'll be back tomorrow sometime. Okay, we're back after about 24 hours of the apple cider vinegar in the tank, and I have to say I'm actually somewhat impressed at the progress already. Definitely, a lot less bumps. It's kind of smoothing out. I can actually see some gray of the tank liner. So yeah, I'm gonna let it run some more. I mean, look at the lid there. I think I'll take a picture and splice it into the video before and after 24 hours looking at the tank. I'll do a series. And one thing I forgot to mention at the very beginning, my videos, I don't claim to be an expert on anything. I'm just trying things and sharing what I learned. So hopefully you can comment below and add something to it so we can all learn something. So I'll keep on this track of using the apple cider vinegar, and maybe give it one more day and see where we're at. So it's been 2.5 days now, and the tank's been soaking. I've been moving it around and shifting it from side to side and front to back. And as you can see, the rust is just about all gone. But the problem I discovered was, it would get completely silvery and clean looking on one end, and then I'd shift it standing on the other end or on the other side, and what would happen is it would flash rust. So what I've learned here is that I went back and bought some more apple cider vinegar. I'm just going to fill the thing slap to the top here, and so we're about 2 3/4 days in, and this thing is looking really great. Well, we're at the end of day 3, and I filled the tank up, like I said in the last clip, and I think I'm ready to empty it. I mean, if you just look at this lid, hopefully that's a leading indicator of what I'm going to find inside. Just shining the light down through the liquid there. It looks pretty shiny. So I'm going to dump this out, and then we'll move on to the next step. So now I'm just washing the tank out over and over again. You can see the amount of rust that's coming out of the tank. It's just incredible, the amount of rust that's coming out. So I'm going to keep rinsing it out till I see no more giblets coming out, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so I washed and washed and washed and washed, and I believe I got all the giblets of rust out. And so yeah, hopefully you can see down in there as well as I can, but I don't know. I'm calling this a success with the apple cider vinegar. Well, there you go. You can see all the way to the bottom there. It looks really good. So I'm going to move on to the next step, and this is something I picked up in some reading and maybe a couple of other videos that I saw. But next thing I'm going to do is put some distilled water in there, and then also some baking soda, and supposedly that will kind of stabilize everything and keep it from flash rusting temporarily. And then we'll go on to a third step of coating the inside of the tank with a little bit of oil until I can get it back on the bike and fill it up with gas. So in the last step I did the baking soda wash, and now I'm making sure the tank is really dry inside. So using my little heat gun here, and just going to run that for a bit, and so that'll get the majority of the moisture. But then I'll put some isopropyl rubbing alcohol in there, and that'll get the absolute last bit of moisture out of there. So we'll do that, and then we'll seal up the inside of the tank with a little bit of oil that'll preserve it until I get back on the bike. Okay, so I think I got the tank good and dry, ran the alcohol through there and chased out the last bit of moisture and hit it with the heat gun a little bit more. And so as the last step, I'm going to fog the inside of the tank with some PB Blaster. As you can see, it says it chases rust, and maybe that'll keep us from corroding until we can get some gas in there. But in the meantime, I got a good bit more to do on the bike, so I'm going to get the tank back on there, and if I see that you know, it starts to rust or anything like that, hey, I still got the Kreem fuel tank liner. I'll just simply pop the tank back off of there and go through the steps of using the fuel tank liner kit. But you know what? For, you know, $10 worth of apple cider vinegar in 3 days, I mean, it just did an incredible job of stripping the you know, the rust that was in the tank, the huge chunks. You remember the lid had huge chunks all over it. I mean, it just, for a little bit of money there for the apple cider vinegar, it just did an incredible job of getting the tank back to almost original state. I think, you know, you can still see some, hopefully those are just rust stains, but again, we'll kind of monitor it and see how it turns out, and may have to take it back off and go back to the tank liner kit. But anyway, like I said in the very beginning, all my videos are about trial and error, and seeing what works, and getting people to comment so we can all learn from each other. So, well, I thought I'd do one more quick clip now that I have her back on the bike and in place. And so again, let's zoom in real close here, and yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I think we can live with this for a while, and just keep watching it. You know, obviously we got rid of all the chunks, so that was a huge concern. And so now I think we can fill her up with gas and get all our lines hooked up. We'll be ready to roll. So I'm excited. All right, remember to give me a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate that.